Hey folks, welcome back to another DJI Mini 3 Pro video, and DJI have just released a new Fly App update, version 1.6.8. Now, surprise, surprise, they haven't yet put this out to the RC controller, which is the controller with the screen, so you can only download this at the moment on iOS. I'm not sure if it's available yet on Android. So what I've done is connected my original Mini 2 RC M1 controller to the Mini 3 Pro so that we can test this app update out. And there are a number of changes. I'm just going to nip inside quickly to explain what they are. So there has been a firmware update as well, which outside me doesn't currently know about, and that brings the aircraft firmware from 150 to version 200. But the notes for that suggest that it is simply to make sure that the drone can interact with the new features of 1.6.8. And the new features of 1.6.8 are mostly to bring already existing features of the app to the vertical shooting mode of the Mini 3 Pro, which is a really nice thing. So it just brings a bit of consistency between the horizontal and vertical camera modes. I'm not sure why this limitation was, in place in the first place, but there we go. So let's just go through the notes. First off, it adds support for using focus, track and Quickshots and Hyperlapse to portrait mode for the Mini 3 Pro. Again, they were only able to be used previously when the camera was in the horizontal position. Not so anymore. Adds 2 seconds of shutter interval in Hyperlapse. I've not used the Hyperlapse feature yet on the Mini 3 Pro, but I'll test this feature out and you guys can let me know if you see any notable improvement here. Now, this is worded very badly. Adds USB mode for Mini 3 Pro to improve aircraft battery life when connecting aircraft with computer. Basically, you're not going to know by reading this note, but what this does is when you connect your drone to your computer via a cable to transfer files, then the image, the camera, is going to turn off in order to conserve battery life. I don't know who writes these notes, but there we go. Add support for centering remote controller as the indicator. Tap the upper left corner of the indicator to switch. Again, not 100% sure what this means, but I'm assuming it's how, when you're holding the controller, how you appear, what position you appear on the compass or the map. But yeah, if you've got any ideas as to the wording of that, then please do clarify that for us. And then finally, fixes certain issues, optimizing overall app quality. So yeah, we'll see how the drone flies and how stable it is. I know that many of you do not like to update what is already working for you to newer versions until you know that there aren't going to be any issues. So we'll be putting all this through the test. But let's head back outside now. So we're about to take off, and if you are new to the channel, please do stick around by subscribing. That will notify you of future videos, and I hope you enjoy today's flight. Well, as is usually the case for me, I've just got set up, and of course it feels like it's going to want to rain, which would be really annoying, so let's try and get this video done. Yeah, I can feel a little bit of spitting in the air, but I'm going to try and push through it if we can. Just wait for this home point to be updated, and it looks like the map, the compass is looking a little different. Oh, I've not seen it like that before. I wonder how the map's looking. The map's looking pretty much the same. But yeah, the compass has got this sort of blue hue in the bottom part. And some of the icons look a little different as well. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to switch over into portrait mode. And we can test out whatever these features are that the app update says are now working in portrait mode. So let's just zoom back a little bit there. Do you guys use portrait mode a lot, by the way? It's a nice feature for those of you that do, that you can turn the whole camera around so you get in the full range of pixels without having to crop the image. But I'm just not an Instagrammer myself or anything. Not an Instagrammer. TikTok, is it? I don't even know what they are. But I don't really use social media all that much, apart from YouTube. So let's go ahead now and try some of these features. And yes, it's definitely spitting, how typical. So what I'm going to do is just go to Quickshots here. Ah, okay, it's automatically switched us back into horizontal. How do I switch this over? Ah, okay, new firmware update available. All right then guys, I guess I'll have to go and update the firmware before we try this feature. That could be why it hasn't worked. Okay, I've got the firmware updated and that hopefully has resolved the issue, but it has of course started raining. Absolutely typical. And let's just go ahead now and take off. again. And just dropping that gimbal down a touch. Okay, so what we can do now is switch over into portrait mode. And if we change some of the settings here, let's go to Quickshots. And yes, it has now kept it in portrait mode. Absolutely wonderful stuff. So let's center me a little bit. And yep, there I am selected, 30 meters away. What if we selected droney? Yeah, droney should be safe enough. Let's go ahead and record a droney. Just to give you guys an example as to how this all works now in portrait mode. And I am getting a little bit wet here. It's starting to come down pretty thick and fast. So I feel like we'll get this droney shot and then call it a day for the time being. Awesome. Fortunately, those things are quite quick, aren't they? Okay, and let's come back because I'm getting wet here and so is my drone, which is the more worrying thing. Alright then, so it is the following day now, and I did manage to get the drone out first thing in the morning, and it was still raining this day, but I managed to find this opening in order to test out the updated Hyperlapse feature. Now I should mention that the first half of this video that you're watching I recorded before the video I've already uploaded talking about the update to the firmware. Now, since making that video, DJI have updated the firmware again from 200 to 201, and that is what I'm currently using. I know it all sounds a little bit confusing, but that's because DJI have been updating the drone quite quickly over the last couple of days, and on top of that, with the weather being just terrible and having to find opportunities to get the drone actually out and in the air, then yeah, these videos are coming out in a bit of a strange order, so please do forgive me for that, but hopefully we are getting everything covered one way or another. So yeah, one of the main features of the update itself, 1.6.8, is the ability to record your hyperlapses with 2-second intervals. Now, this is a nice feature, and smooth hyperlapses for me are pretty much where it's at. And it's one of the reasons why I have not been using the hyperlapse feature up until this point with the Mini 3 Pro, because the footage was just quite janky, I found, especially if it was a little bit windy and you had 5-second intervals, etc. So what this change basically does is put the shortest interval to 2 seconds, which means when you're recording a hyperlapse video, the camera will take a photo every 2 seconds rather than whatever else it was set to before the update. Now, you can still have higher intervals, of course. This is just an option for those that want it, which, hey, I think most of you would that are going to want to use the hyperlapse feature. So what I've done here is I've set the hyperlapse to 2-second intervals for a 10-second finished video. And that means it's going to want to take 250 images. Now, annoyingly, because I knew it was going to start to rain again at any time, I did just rush through the settings so that I could get the hyperlapse going. And yeah, it's a 25 frames per second output video, which is not really what I wanted, because the rest of this YouTube video is 30 frames per second. So it might look a little bit weird in comparison to how it should look, the finished result, but you should get the idea. And also, I know a car park is not the most exciting subject for a hyperlapse, but again, I had to just get the drone in the air while I had the opportunity in order to get the feature tested, so hopefully it will serve our purposes for today. Of course, the best hyperlapses are generally those that the subject either has movement to it or has movement around it. And again, the car park was just the closest thing where I knew there was going to be some movement with cars coming in and out and dog walkers, etc., etc. Now, while we continue to take these hyperlapse shots, I do want to briefly mention the compass, because obviously this is another change with 1.6.8. Now, the first major change that you're going to notice is that the horizon line that was previously present on the compass has now gone, and it has been replaced by this shaded blue area. Now, I suppose it's down to personal preference, what you prefer, but was there an issue with that white line, that horizontal line that was used previously? I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. But also the pilot icon, or the controller icon, which as you can see is currently the blue circle on the compass, this has also been updated, and I really do like this change. Now, when you're slightly pointing the drone away, so when you're slightly pointing the controller away from the drone, it will be a blue circle as you see currently on screen. But when you have pinpointed the controller directly facing towards the drone, that circle will turn green. So it's just a really nice, quick way to know that you are facing your drone. This is a great feature. It's not one I thought of, for DJI to implement, but obviously they have. And now that it's there, I think I'm going to be using it a lot. So yeah, nice one on that, DJI. Oh, and whilst we're also talking about the compass, another neat little feature with this update that I didn't try with this video is that you can reset the position of the controller and drone on the interface so that the controller icon is fixed in the middle. You see where the drone is currently situated right now on that compass, and the drone is pushed to the edge of the compass, and that's what moves then around the compass with the controller icon being fixed in the middle. This is actually something I think I would prefer. So yeah, I'm going to be testing this out, and I might even make a dedicated compass video to explain all of these new features, since I think some of these additional options are going to go down well with folks. But if I've missed anything about the compass with this update, then please do let me know in the comments, and I'll make sure to talk about it in that upcoming video. And one final issue I do want to talk about before I skip ahead to show you the finished Hyperlapse is with the potential fix to range and transmission. Now, many of you who have been watching my channel recently will know that I have been having serious issues with range, especially in regards to the fact that my RC controller will not connect to the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi band automatically, and when I forcibly move over to that band, the signal just goes to rubbish. It really does, even at very close range. Now, I haven't tested the update with that controller yet. I did have a preliminary fly, a little bit of a range test off camera with the RCM1 controller that I'm using now, and I noticed that the Wi-Fi bands were switching correctly, automatically, and as expected, and I was not having any notable range issues, at least within 500 meters. But again, that could be because I'm simply using the Mini 2 controller, so I will make a video again in the near future, seeing how this update has addressed problems that I was having with the RC controller in regards to transmission. Some of you in my comment section across my channel have said that, yes, range issues have been fixed for you. However, other people have said that no, range issues and transmission issues have not been fixed with this update. And sadly, some of you have even suggested that this update has made things worse. So I will be doing further testing with my own drone and my own controller going forward, and maybe that will help some of you as well. But clearly this has been a major update from DJI, so hopefully everything is now moving in the right direction. There's a lot of fixes in place here, and I'm sure there are many more to come. So let's skip ahead now and see that finished Hyperlapse. Right, so there's my overview of App Update 1.6.8, also using the latest firmware on the Mini 3 Pro. There is further testing I want to conduct, weather permitting. Right now it isn't, in particular with regards to the range of the Mini 3 Pro, now that the image transmission issues have allegedly been fixed according to DJI. I would really like to see that for myself, but please do share your thoughts on 1.6.8 down in the comments. A lot has changed with this update. Clearly there are a lot of new features, and it is generally a much bigger update than what we are used to seeing from DJI, so inevitably there are undoubtedly some extra bugs that have crept into this one. Hopefully nothing too debilitating for you guys, but yeah, please do share your experiences down below. I will be back again soon with more DJI Mini 3 videos, so thank you to everybody who has been watching and supporting my content. You guys are absolute legends. I'll see you next time. Bye folks.